So next up, we're going to be installing, or assembling and then installing the shifter drum, which is this here with these crazy little worm grooves over it, and it's through a pin that slides around in these, which allow the shifter forks to move up and down and select the correct gears. Put that to the side for a second. These are the shifter forks. There's 3 of them. Let me just get these round in the right order, because there's a way of telling what one goes where and what one does what. So, is that the right way? Yeah. So if I hold them up this way, like this, you should be able to see it quite clearly. Let's get them all lined up. So what I'm looking for here is, where is this, I don't know, this raised section positioned on the collar, which tells me what shifter it is. Because if you look, this one here, it's not quite, look at that shit, right, so there, it's not quite flush with this outer edge, and it's not right over to this side, so it's kind of, it's not central, but it's over to the side. So this tells me that this one, if I get this right, yeah, so this one is fork 3, and fork 3 will just select 4th gear for me. Okay, and it's just by knowing where that is in location on the collar. Next up, we have fork 2. This is pretty much central on that collar. If I hold it up, try and get it at the right angle, about there. See, we're equal distances from side to side. This block is pretty much central on that collar. That is fork 2. That is purely for selecting 1st and 2nd gear. This last one, yeah, you can see it's been cut flush with this face. It's right over to the side. This is for 3rd and 5th gear. This is fork 1. Now all we need to do is position them in the gearbox first, and then we slide the selector drum through afterwards. It makes it a bit easier, so we'll go to the other camera and you'll see what I'm on about. Right, so some of these will actually only go in one place because of the thickness of these teeth here, the actual fork itself. Can't remember exactly which one it is, but one of them was a lot thicker than the other, I found out, and it wouldn't actually there, so that will not go onto that shifter, and it will not go onto that shifter. So the only place that one can go is at the front there. Okay, so that is shifter, what are we doing? Shifter 1, which was, no, sorry, not shifter 1, that must be shifter 2, which is for 1st and 2nd gear. So that goes right at the front. If we then get fork 3, which was the one which was, where are we? No, not fork 3. If we then get fork 1, which is this one, which has been cut with it right on the side, this is for selecting 3rd and 5th gear. This one goes right at the back here. Let's move that out of the way for this camera. Fork 2 goes in the middle there. So let's put those back into place. So you can see they go like that. Next up, with a load of lube, what you want to do is absolutely smother the selector shaft all in the grooves. Give it a real good covering with the assembly lube. Yeah, roll on the 70s pool music. Wicked. Now the idea is, if we pass this through the centre of each drum, or each fork, sorry, the drum through the centre of each fork, it should pass through to about there. Right, what you're aiming to do is slide it through, hopefully it can be seen on that camera, until that groove that you can just see in the top there, oh, it's dropped out the locator, there, until that groove on the drum becomes level with the door. Because then what happens is, hopefully from this side you can see it, you've got a bolt hole there, and then you've got another little hole just there. On your locating plate, you'll notice there's a hole, large hole here where the bolt goes through, there's another locating hole here, and then this here. If I turn it around that way, you'll actually see that that is a raised small piece of metal that goes into that hole. So if I turn that a little bit, just there, let's get that back in because it's dropped out. So what should happen is that should come in, sit in the groove, and then locate that drum. There, it should snap in. There you go. That little dimple that was out, like the little bit that was sticking out, has now dropped into that recess hole. There's another smaller plate which again has a pin on it which drops into the other hole. There's a bit of a backup, if you like. I feel like I need more fingers and thumbs than I've got. Trying to do it so it can still be caught by camera. Do you know what? I'm going to have to just sort of, I think I'm going to have to slide it on so I can see how it goes. So I'm going to take the drum locator, because it's got the bolt, slide that into the hole. Slide that up like so. There we go, it's just snapped in. Over goes the next one. It's also snapped in. Trying to hold everything together at the same time. On with the washer, then on with the little locking nut. Right, so using a 3/4 inch and a 1/2 inch spanner, we can put that on the outside, hold that nut steady, and then just tighten it up. Next up, if you notice on the top of these forks we have these holes here, okay, and it's those holes that line up with those grooves. Do you remember what we see round the selector drum? And they line up by dropping these small little locator pins down into the hole, rotating the drum until they drop into their desired location. So starting from the top here, so that there should go all the way down. That's cool, let's hold it in place. On to the next one. Last one. Coming in real easy. Now those pins, all that stops them from coming out is some cotter pins. Whenever you take a cotter pin out from somewhere, always replace it with a new one. It's not worth putting old ones in, but yeah, there's a, oh, hands are too slippery to be able to rotate it to show you. Yeah, There's a cotter pin. Here we go. Yeah, people know them as split pins or anything like that. It's gone without focus here. But they just pass when I stop shaking. They pass through the holes from the back and then open up. I'm just going to open them up like that for now because I'm going to check and see exactly how they need to be in the book. They might double over and do some weird and wonderful stuff, but if I just get all three of them in. Double check those in a second. I'll just show you the last little bit that needs doing, which is round here on the front. We have this. This is the gear locator, like a selector locator. And what happens is this arm is held down under tension. There'll be a spring that goes off to the case once it's bolted in, and this roller here will sit into those indentations. And then this circlip holds it into place. Let's get some pliers. Here we go. So yeah, once that's held up under tension, depending on how that rotates, okay, right, so I'm sitting here trying to figure out why it's not selecting all the gears. It was locking up straight away. Gone back over the pictures, I had a little look and I found the culprit. Basically what it is, it was this third gear here on the counter shaft, no, on the main shaft, sorry, third gear main shaft, this last gear that I put on here. I actually put it on up the wrong way. So it allowed me to get the fork in and drop the pin in, but it won't allow the gear to actually to move up and down properly. Okay, so we've got that last gear turned around, that third gear on the main shaft, stripped it all down, spun it around, back on, fed the drum back through all of the fork rods and dropped those locating pins in with new cotter pins as well. Still need to be trimmed down, but just going to pretty much show you how it works. So we've got this little arm here. This is called the detent or detent arm, and it's sprung loaded. At the top you can see there's a hole. There would be a spring that goes from that to the case once it actually bolts back into the Harley main case. That detent arm locates, it's got a roller on the end of it, and the roller locates into these lobes, if you like, in this dent here. This is like a star shape, this detent, but it's missing one of its points just here. That one that it's missing is actually, that's your neutral location. And where the arm is sitting at the moment, where this roller is sitting located in there, that's first gear. So if I was to turn the gearbox, we should see, I'm going to lose my face now because I'm going to put this up in the corner just here because I've got the GoPro just recording now, so I'll cover up my mush. As I turn the main shaft, you can see all the gears in that turning on the back, or up here in fact, yeah. Then if I rotate this to neutral, it still looks like everything's turning and everything's the same. And the only way we can tell that it's not actually getting any output is if I hold these gears still. Yeah, you can see that there's just nothing engaging there. Okay, so there would be no drive from the engine. This is your neutral location. Okay. Okay, that's with it in that indent. Turn it again. Sometimes the engine does have to actually be running, so there. Now it's gone into the next location. This is second gear. Okay, if I can keep that sort of pressure on there with my finger and then rotate this, and you should see it all turning on the back up in the top. There, we're now going into third gear. Okay. Fourth gear. And last but not least, fifth gear. Awesome. Go back down. It's fourth. It's third. It's second. We're right past first, and then knock it back just into neutral there. Well, that is it. That is the gearbox been stripped, fully reassembled, checked out. All the components have been cleaned and checked out. So yeah, the next thing really now is for this to just be, oh no, fifth gear. Fifth gear's next. I'm going to do a whole small mini chapter on that. I think I've got to take the cases to work again, because they've got to be pressed in. A bearing's got to be pressed into the case. But I'll have a quick read up, get that all sorted, and that'll be the next episode. And I'll probably do it in one episode. So it'll be fifth gear gets pressed in, and then the gearbox will go into the case and it gets bolted in. Yeah, and then we'll just carry on working out from there. There won't be as much time between each episode now. You know, I got taken up with the Mully Mile racer, and then to be honest, I just lost a little bit of want for being out in the workshop. But I set today aside. I'm back out here. I'm enjoying it. It's good. The mental space is back. So I want to carry on. I really want to carry on. So yeah. So hopefully, over the next few weeks, you're going to start seeing the videos come back again. Let's get back into building this Harley. We've got some really cool ideas for it. We've got parts still turning up. So I've never stopped ordering parts or, you know, sort of buying bits for it. So things are just now accumulating so that we can get them all bolted together. This is going to be such an awesome bike. I really do think Ryan's going to be impressed with it. So you're going to be seeing more of this dude again. Don't forget about him. And yeah, awesome. Thank you very much for watching. I always forget to say this bit. Please like, subscribe, and share it about. You may know someone who's building a Harley and you think this will be a bit useful. So yeah, please like, subscribe, share. I keep looking here because my camera's there but my screen's here. I'm ever so sorry. So please like, comment, subscribe. It all helps the channel grow, helps me know if I'm doing the right thing or the wrong thing. And I hope this is all useful to you. Thank you very much.